The sweltering heat may be stopping you doing a lot of things, but it's not going to stop me making this video to help you with your hip mobility. My recent bad back video got a few comments and a few feedbacks that I want to be able to show you the 5 exercises that I use most commonly to help me with my hips. So if you have stiff hips, sore knees, bad posture, these 5 exercises will help you get better. So let's get stuck in. So I've seen lots of yoga teachers, lots of yoga classes, lots of Pilates movements come and go over the years, and I've always found that mobility to be something that's much better when it's combined with strength. You see a lot of yoga teachers that are very flexible, but not very strong, and vice versa. You can see a lot of strong people that aren't very flexible. Maybe the odd occasion, the exception to the rule, Juji Mufu is pretty flexible and strong, and your gymnasts as well. They're pretty good as well. So I've always liked, and one of the reasons why I like CrossFit was because it's efficient, effective, time saving, get in, high intensity, get out. And when it comes to stretching, I find it boring, I find it painful. I don't find it benefits that much. But when we're doing things that actually combine stretching with movement, then that's when we start to see like a lot of work where we must start saving time, where we can go from one exercise to the other, flow from one to the other, be able to bring lots of good stuff into one program that makes it time efficient. And that is what we like. We'd like to be able to get through it quickly. So people who I really enjoy looking at when it comes to mobility, or I've always found to be really good, Kelly Starrett. Actually bought his book, The Supple Leopard. Good book if you want to read it. And Ido Portal's also very good when it comes to starting to work on flows to get better. So without further ado, here's some of the exercises that I do to keep my hips in good working order, to be able to squat, deadlift, and do all the good stuff that I want. Let's go. Exercise 1, the 90-90 hip opener. You've got to get your front leg 90 degrees. Kick that back leg to 90 degrees as well. Should have a little box in the middle. That is our starting position. So you can just stretch over the top and lean back. So you'll feel this in the back hip there when you lean back, and over the front leg, over the back leg, over the front. So to make it more mobility, back leg, stretch there, front leg, stretch there, turn all the way over, front leg, back leg, front leg, turn all the way back. Now, if you want to make it a little bit more mobile, get the hips really working, kick that back leg up, just get it moving. Can you get the back foot up? Back foot. That'll start working the strength around the hip, and then turn over to the other side. Can you get that back knee up? Can you get the back foot up? It's a bit harder on the back. And then can I go from front to back? This will get internal rotation and external rotation. So internal just means that I turn the toes in, so that's into the middle. External, turn it out of the middle. There's exercise 1. That will get you fired up. Let's go to 2. Let's get you set up for the couch stretch. So all you're going to need is a pillow. I'm going to use an ab mat, sofa or a wall, and that's it. And some grit and determination to keep going. So I would suggest 2 minutes on each leg. All you're going to do is you're going to pop your knee right into the corner of the pillow and the couch, whatever you're using for the wall. Option 1, just keep this knee on the floor and try and squeeze your glutes and push your hips through towards the floor. That's option 1. Option 2, bring that leg up. Okay, remember you can do both sides, 2 minutes each side. That's option 2. Again, squeeze your glutes, 10 seconds, and then release, and then mobilize. See if you can hit some corners, do some turns, push your hips forward. And then the big dog, if you can, is get all the way up. Okay, so get all the way up. So I'm not quite all the way up, but when I start to go further than here, arch my back. Okay, and I want to feel the stretch in the hip, not my back. So I'm just trying to squeeze my hip forward, try and get that extension here through the hip, okay? So it's very important that you don't just arch your back. You've got to keep the pressure, keep the tension through the hip. So squeeze the glutes. If you can, push your foot into the couch, into the wall for 10 seconds as well. So you'll stretch the hip flexor on the front, so your rectus femoris, this big muscle on the front of the thigh, and you'll get your hip flexors, the iliacus, psoas through the hip there as well. So remember, 2 minutes each side, and that's the most aggressive stretch, but it works. Okay, so let's go on to exercise 3. So exercise 3 is the glute bridge. Now we've already done the glute bridge quite a few times, so I'm just going to go through 2 variations that will help you pick up your glute strength depending on your weaknesses. Now, if you do a glute bridge test, so the glute bridge test, you would squeeze your glutes, lift your hips, and straighten your right leg, aim for a minute, hold, and then you'd go the same again and hold the left leg and hold. So first of all, you need to figure out your sequencing. So some of you might feel that in your glutes the whole time, which is perfect. Some of you might cramp your hamstrings and it might just go into agony. Some of you might feel it in your lower back. Now some might get to a minute and some might only get to 10 seconds, right? But all of these things need to be factored into the test. And if you need any help with that, just message me, I'll be happy to help. But ultimately, what happens is that if, let's say that I do the test, and I get to the top, I kick out my left leg there, and I can already feel my hip drop, then that shows me that I've got a little bit of weakness in my glute med, so the glute muscle that comes around the side, okay? So a variation of the glute bridge that can help us with that is with the band. It's a band around the toes, pull it up around the knees, arms out to the side like before, squeeze the glutes, and then lift and give a little bit of a push on the band. So that will start getting your glutes to fire up and give it that little bit of conscious feedback so it can say, oh yeah, I need to switch on and push out into the band, okay? So that's if your glute med is weak. But the opposing muscle to the glutes is the adductor. So the adductor from the knee goes up the inside of the leg into the groin. Now, if you find yourself a little bit unstable with that one, then you can use a pillow, or I'm using a foam roller ribbed for extra pleasure. You put it between your knees, give it a squeeze, and the goal is that the setup's the same. So push your arms into the floor, squeeze your glutes, but squeeze your knees together at the same time. So as the glutes are working, you're working your adductors. So you're just getting that relationship between the 2 opposing muscles dialed in and working really good. Okay, so there's 2 variations of the glute bridge to help you with any hip issues. So the 4th exercise in this series is the Cossack squat. This is quite tough, but we'll make it easy and we'll build it up. So first of all, we need to go wide with the feet. Turn your toes out a little bit, 10 to 2, like a clock face. And we're just going to hinge and get to the floor. So from there, all I want you to do is bend your knees left, feel a stretch through the hip here, and then right, and you're going to feel a stretch in the groin on the left leg. Okay? As you get better, so that's a nice easy way to start. So that's just going to start opening up the hips laterally, side to side. So now if we can, we're going to touch the toe to the left and the toe to the right. This is the hip hinge, okay? So this is easy. All right, this is just building you up to the full Cossack squat. Okay, if you can do that easy enough, then here we go. Make sure you send your hips backwards, keep your chest up, and you get nice and low on that left side. Okay, come back to the middle. Then you go to the other side, bum back, keep your chest up. As you see, I use the hands just to keep my chest high. I want to stay upright. So there's another one. Hands high, chest up, and low. Now, if you want to go super tough, like level 4, go into the squat, and you're just going to stay nice and low. There, and back to the beginning. Squat, low, and up. Okay, that's a squat, that's a Cossack squat. That will challenge all your adductors, outside glutes again, quads, and a little bit of... So exercise 5, join me in the deepest squat you can manage. Now, if you can get ass to grass, then that is perfect, and we should be able to hold this for 2 minutes. Now, you can do loads of variations with this one. Some people like to push their knees out. Some people like to just rock from side to side and just get the knees moving. Okay, some people like to hunch down, straighten up. That's cool as well. Now, one of the things I like to do, if I want to just get a little bit of back into it and start linking the glutes, the hips, and the back, I start adding a little twist. So the goal is try and keep your feet flat on the floor and rotate up. Now, this is quite advanced. So for those of you that are just starting out, just sit in the bottom of the squat, feel those hips opening up. It will be quite painful to start with, but trust me, 2 minutes a day and your hips will be mega. So if you need help thinking about how to put this together, I would suggest giving it a daily routine. If your back is nice and tight and stiff, and your hips are stiff as well, then you want to be able to start moving them through their full ranges. You want to be able to start opening up those hips as best you can to start thinking about how it's going to help you. The more you do it, the more work you spend on these exercises, just getting those hips open, the better. Now, as I said, 3 times a week, get started there, and then you'll find yourself working really good through these positions. So I would suggest maybe 1 or 2 rounds of this little circuit where you get yourself going. So I like to get all these little stretches, little left to right, Cossack squats, here and here. How am I feeling? Am I feeling pretty good? Pretty good here. Yeah, that's awesome. If I can't do the couch stretch, then this one's pretty good too. I can start lifting my back leg up and driving through there. But all the while, I'm thinking about, where am I stiff? Am I stiff in the hamstrings? Am I stiff in the quads? Am I stiff in the adductors? Working full range, just moving through. Can I get my body warm before I start to squat? So like a little alternate pigeon stretch, just from there. Quite like this one where I just go across and down, just moving through those ranges, making sure everything is getting loose. So there you have the 5 exercises to help you with your hip stiffness. Give them a try. I suggest 5 to 8 minutes. Flow through the exercises one after the other. Try and hold that couch stretch. Get to 2 minutes. It might be tough at the beginning, but build up to 2 minutes. And do it, I don't know, every other day would be good. Every day would be better. Your hips will respond pretty awesomely the more you give it. So try it, see how you get on. If you'd like a little bit more of a structure to it, I've got my strength starter guide in the description. Give that a download if you'd like to see how a full program looks. And let me know how you get on. I read all the comments, so if you need any help, comment below and I'm happy to help. Good luck. Get back to shifting some serious tin ASAP. Enjoy the heat.